I needed a change. My mind felt too full of noise, full of screams. I decided to do something bold. I would travel for 1 week, but this trip would be different. There would be no internet, no phone calls, just me and the world. The idea felt a little scary, but deep inside it also felt right. I craved the quiet. The plan was simple: go somewhere beautiful, somewhere peaceful, a place where life moved slowly. I chose a small village by the sea. I heard it was lovely there, people were kind. The ocean sang its own song. I imagined myself walking on the beach, feeling the sun on my skin, breathing fresh, clean air. I packed my bags with essentials: a few clothes, a good book, a journal to write my thoughts, and a heart full of hope. The first morning was strange. I woke up slowly. The room was quiet, too quiet perhaps. My hand reached for my phone. It was an old habit, like a phantom limb. But the phone was not there, not on the nightstand, not buzzing with news. It was off, tucked away in my bag. I remembered my promise: no internet. A small wave of unease washed over me, just for a moment. I got out of bed. What should I do first? Usually I would check emails, scroll through updates, see what the world was doing. Now the world outside my window was my only update. The sun was rising. Without my phone I had no digital map. I had an old paper map, of course. Its creases told stories of other journeys. I decided to explore the village. The map was helpful sometimes, but the streets were winding. Little paths led to unexpected places. I tried to follow the map, I really did, but soon I realized something. Getting a little lost was part of the fun. It was an adventure. One afternoon I took a wrong turn. I was looking for a famous viewpoint. The map said to go left. I thought I went left. Being without a screen changed how I saw people, and how they saw me, I think. My eyes were open to the world around me, not glued to a glowing rectangle. I smiled more at strangers. I made eye contact. It felt natural. It felt human. People seemed more willing to talk, to share a moment, or a story. These connections were precious. They were real. I met a fisherman named Mateo. He was mending his nets by the harbor. His hands were strong and weathered. He had seen many storms and many calm seas. I sat nearby just watching. He looked up and smiled. We started talking. He told me about his life, about the changes in the village. The world is so beautiful. It's a canvas painted with the most vibrant colors and intricate details, a masterpiece that changes with every passing moment. When you really look at it, you begin to notice the small things, the details that often go unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of daily life. When you are not distracted, you can truly appreciate the serenity and peace that nature offers. It's a feeling that fills your soul with calm. This week nature showed me its true colors. I witnessed the ever-changing weather, each moment bringing a new palette of hues and shades. I saw sunsets that painted the sky with such brilliance, it felt like watching a live painting unfold before my eyes. Fiery oranges and soft pinks blended seamlessly, creating a mesmerizing display of nature's artistry. They melted into the deep blue sea, a perfect harmony of colors that left me in awe. Each one was a masterpiece, different every evening, yet each one equally captivating and unique in its own way. I did not try to capture them with a camera, I just watched, allowing myself to be fully present in the moment. I let the beauty fill me up, feeling a deep sense of contentment and peace wash over me. It was a wonderful feeling, one that reminded me of the simple joys that nature brings. I walked for hours along the coastline, each step bringing me closer to the heart of nature's beauty. The cliffs were tall and majestic, standing like ancient guardians watching over the sea. Waves crashed against the rocks below. The sound was powerful, like a giant heartbeat, echoing the rhythm of the earth. I found tiny shells on the sand, each one a small treasure, a testament to the ocean's endless creativity. Each one perfect in its design, a miniature work of art crafted by the waves. I watched crabs scuttling sideways, their movements quick and purposeful. So busy in their little world they seemed oblivious to everything else around them. I felt the wind on my face, a gentle reminder of nature's ever-present touch. It carried the scent of salt, a fresh and invigorating aroma that filled my senses, and wild herbs growing on the cliffs, their fragrance mingling with the sea breeze. It was a symphony for the senses, a harmonious blend of sights, sounds, and scents that left me feeling truly alive. Food is a language everyone understands. Without online reviews, I had a new adventure. Finding places to eat became a treasure hunt. I would ask the locals, "Where do you eat? Where is the food truly good?" Their eyes would light up. They loved to share their favorite spots, small family-run places, hidden gems, places you would never find in a tourist guide. This was exciting. I remember one small restaurant tucked away in a narrow alley. An old woman was cooking in the kitchen. The air was filled with delicious smells, garlic, herbs, fresh seafood. There was no fancy menu, just a few dishes written on a chalkboard. I chose the fish stew. The owner recommended it. He said it was his grandmother's recipe. It was the best stew I have ever tasted. So fresh, so full of flavor. While I ate, the owner told me stories. As the days passed, something shifted inside me. The constant urge to check my phone faded. The mental chatter grew quieter. It was like a noisy room, and someone had slowly turned down the volume. I began to hear other things, the sound of my own breathing, the rhythm of my own thoughts. It was a gentle unfolding, a return to myself. This was a surprise. I found myself with so much time. Time to think, time to dream, time to just be. I read my book for hours, lost in its pages. I wrote in my journal, pouring out my feelings, my observations. Sometimes I would just sit by the sea, watching the waves, letting my mind wander. Ideas came to me. Solutions to problems I had been ignoring. A sense of clarity emerged. The week passed too quickly. It felt like just yesterday I had decided to disconnect, to step away from the digital noise and immerse myself in the simplicity of the offline world. Each day was a new adventure, a new opportunity to rediscover the beauty of the present moment. Soon, it was time to go home, time to turn my phone back on. The thought of re-entering the digital realm was both daunting and inevitable. I had grown accustomed to the quiet, to the absence of constant notifications and the pressure to stay connected. I had mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I missed the convenience and the instant access to information. On the other, I cherished the peace and the clarity that came with being unplugged. Part of me wanted to stay in that quiet bubble, that peaceful, unplugged world. It was a sanctuary, a place where I could hear my own thoughts without the interference of digital chatter. Another part knew I had to return to my life, my work, my loved ones. Responsibilities awaited, and I couldn't ignore them forever. The digital world, with all its demands, was still a part of my reality, but I knew I would be different. The experience had left an indelible mark on me. I had learned to appreciate the moments of stillness, the beauty of being present. The experience had changed me in small ways and in big ways. I felt more connected to myself, more aware of my surroundings. I had found a new sense of balance. When I finally switched on my phone, it felt strange. The screen lit up and the familiar icons appeared, but they seemed foreign, almost intrusive. The sudden rush of notifications, emails, messages, news alerts. It was overwhelming, like a tidal wave of information crashing down on me. It was like a loud noise after a long silence. The contrast was jarring, and for a moment I longed for the quiet again. For a moment I wanted to turn it off again, to retreat back into that serene world where I could breathe and think freely. I realized how overwhelming it could be, how much it could pull me away from the present moment, away from the simplicity I had come to value, away from the present moment, away from myself. The digital world had its benefits, but it also had its costs. I knew I needed to be more mindful now, to find a balance between the digital and the real, to not let one overshadow the other. The lessons from my offline week were clear. I had learned the importance of disconnecting, of taking time to recharge and reconnect with myself. I learned the value of presence, the joy of real human connection, the beauty of the unfiltered world. These were treasures that no amount of digital interaction could replace. I understood that technology is a tool. It can enhance our lives, but it should not dominate them. It can be useful, it can connect us, but it should not control us. Moving forward, I vowed to use it wisely, to not let it take away from the richness of the real world around me. Perhaps you are reading this, and you feel a little curious, a little bit like I did. Maybe you've been feeling a bit overwhelmed by the constant barrage of notifications, emails, and social media updates. It's like your mind is always racing, never getting a moment to just breathe and be still. You're not alone in this feeling. Many of us are caught in this digital whirlwind. Maybe your mind feels too full. It's like there's no room left for your own thoughts, your own dreams. The constant noise of the digital world can drown out your inner voice, leaving you feeling disconnected from yourself. Maybe you crave a little quiet, a little space, a moment to just be without the constant pull of your phone or computer. Imagine the peace of a quiet park, the serenity of a calm landscape. These moments of stillness can be incredibly rejuvenating. If so, I want to tell you something, you can do it too. You have the power to step away, to take a break from the digital world. It might seem daunting at first, but it's entirely possible. And the rewards are immense. You can take an offline adventure. It doesn't have to be a grand expedition. It could be a simple hike in the woods, a walk in the park, or a day trip to a nearby town. The key is to disconnect from your devices and reconnect with the world around you. It does not have to be for a whole week. Even a short break can make a big difference. You could start with just a day, or even just an afternoon. The important thing is to give yourself permission to step away. It could be a day, or even just an afternoon. Imagine spending a few hours enjoying a picnic, sitting by a lake, or simply relaxing in nature. These moments can help you recharge and find a sense of balance. The open road awaits you. There's a whole world out there full of beauty and adventure just waiting to be explored, and you don't need a screen to experience it. The benefits are so rich. You'll find a new kind of joy, a sense of liberation that comes from being fully present in the moment. You'll feel more connected to yourself and the world around you. You will discover a new kind of freedom. Freedom from the constant need to check, to respond, to perform. This freedom allows you to be more mindful, more present, and more in tune with your own needs and desires. You will see the world with fresh eyes, notice the small wonders around you, the things you usually miss. The beauty of a flower, the majesty of a sunset, the joy in a child's laughter. These are the moments that make life rich and meaningful. You will connect with people more deeply, face to face, heart to heart. These connections are more meaningful and fulfilling than any online interaction. They nourish the soul and remind us of what truly matters. These connections are so important. They nourish the soul. They remind us that we are not alone, that we are part of a community, a family, a circle of friends who care about us. I know it can feel scary, the thought of being disconnected, the fear of missing out, the anxiety of not being available. It's real, but it's also something you can overcome. We are so used to our devices. They have become an extension of ourselves, a constant companion that we rely on for everything from communication to entertainment. They feel like a part of us. It's hard to imagine life without them, but it's important to remember that we are more than our devices. We are capable of so much more, but trust me, the fear passes. Once you take that first step, you'll find that the world doesn't end when you put your phone down. In fact, it opens up in new and beautiful ways, and what replaces it is something beautiful. Peace, clarity, a deeper sense of self. You'll find a new kind of happiness, one that comes from within, from being truly present in the moment. You might get lost, but you will also find yourself. In the quiet moments, in the stillness, you'll discover who you really are and what truly matters to you. So take a deep breath, take that first step, and embrace the journey of disconnecting to reconnect.